Hey Coach, I'm so happy you found us on YouTube. I'm in one of my happy places here in our gym. A couple things. First of all, make sure you subscribe. There's a little bell up above. You'll get all the notifications every time something comes out. We publish something every day for you to be a better basketball coach. If you're looking to take your coaching to another level, if you're looking to put some pictures on the wall, let me help you. Come over and join us at teachhoops.com. I do not think you'll be disappointed. All right, let's head off to the channel. All right, welcome, Coach, to High School Hoops episode. I have no idea.
That's a good thing. That means we're keeping longevity.
Longevity, been around a long time.
Yeah, I think 2 years.
It's been 2 years. It has been. All right, so before we jump in, we're going to talk about attacking a 2-3 zone and things that we can do for that. Before we do that, we are going to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the number one shooting machine on the market. Go over and check them out. $350 off. I call it the COVID. It's the COVID machine, man. It's perfect. You need a ball and the machine, balls and the machine, and you're good to go. Also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Adding stuff all the time. Great resource. I don't personally think I'm going to be coaching this year, so I'm going to have lots of time to give you individual attention at teachhoops.com. Lots of time. I was telling a coach from San Diego that yesterday. It's like, man, I'm going to have some time this winter. My assistant coaches are actually semi-worried about me.
I'm kind of worried about you too a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe I'll take up jogging again or something. It's been a while. I don't know.
Maybe it's time to write a book.
Write a book. That'd be interesting.
I mean, you've had enough success with the game and experience.
Maybe I got to find somebody to write it for me. Like not write out, like be my ghost, not write it for me, but be my ghost writer.
Right. Or you could talk about your experience of coaching your high school.
Interview me and then write the book. I'd be open to that.
The journeys of a high school basketball coach, from coaching your son and all that good stuff.
How the game's changed, and that'd be interesting. Not
Coaching,
sure anybody would read it, but
who knows? Maybe you've had a lot of cool stuff happen to you in your life. You've had an opportunity to coach collegiate players and NBA players, and coach your son, and win multiple state championships, and been through a pandemic and everything else. You have a lot to talk about.
I do have a lot to talk about. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my guys right now when we don't play this year. So anyway, all right. So we're going to talk about, that's going to depress me, so we're going to stop talking about it. So attacking a 2-3. So go ahead, Coach. What do you think are keys to attacking the 2-3?
I think number one, you don't have to be in a mindset to settle for a 3-point shot all the time if you're not a good shooting team. I think you can do a lot of different actions. I think there's a lot of simple varieties that you can do. You don't have to do just one thing against a 2-3 zone. You can have several different actions.
I do. I like different actions. I like movements. And again, any of you who are listening to the podcast, we're going to put this, we're going to show some things on the screen. So we'll put
which I'm actually really excited about, because I think the key is to try to be able to not just use the picture in front of us to kind of display what we're doing, but also to speak out so people understand what they're listening to.
So for example, if in a 2-3, so I think a couple things that are really happening well in a 2 that people are starting to do more of now is ball screen or screen the ball. You see that more. You definitely saw it more in the NBA in the playoffs. Where someone's out in, maybe X1 there, or one of the defenders at the elbow is going to, and a guy at the wing has the ball. He's coming up and getting screened. It's making the other top guy for the 2-3 have to make decisions. And I think
I know what you're saying. So this is like, let's have this top guy guarding him, right?
Right.
Somebody else on your team. Let's just put a bigger guy, like a four-man coming up here and setting a screen here. It's all about getting them off of their standard rotation is what you're saying, kind of, don't you think?
Yeah. The thing is, I think as he comes up, so what we're doing is there's a guy in the wing and he's getting screened. What makes this unique is X2 has to make a decision. So put the other offensive players out on the court, coach. So if you think about a
Sure.
2-3, usually you set up in a
A
1-3-1 setup kind of.
Or a 3-out, 2-in kind of action.
Yeah. So it really kind of depends on your
Do you
team.
have a principle when you're attacking zones, like, it's always the complete reciprocal, like, the opposite. So if there's 2 here, you should have 3 here, and I don't know, you know what I mean, to overload the zone.
I
Or do
do.
you,
I like the banana cut. I've become a fan of the kind of cutting behind. I also like I like balance. I like space. So all of a sudden, if you think about, so let's imagine, for the people that are listening, we're playing against a 2-3, and the ball's on one of the wings. Let's say the left wing, and someone comes up from the bottom and screens them. They X2 has to, and three is going to dribble toward the middle. They have to make a decision. Now, I personally like let's take that screen away from the bottom guy. Let's move 4 out to the corner, coach, and let's get rid of that. And let's have 5 at the high post here, and let's have 5 set that screen. All of a sudden, and move 2 down to the corner and move 1 to the wing.
right? So you would, if you're gonna ball screen here, we're gonna have this guy come middle though, right? And we gotta obviously eliminate one of these 2 players, right?
Yeah. So move 2 down to the corner.
We gotta make, like, this is what I think is the key before, and I totally agree with you on this too, is that we got to make the person in the middle here have to make a decision, right?
The top guy of the 2-3 has to make a decision.
And ultimately, when you break that part of the free throw line and you go baseline and you get to there, that 5-man has to make a decision too. They have to help or not help. I think causing also against a 2-3, the 5-man to make decisions, because he's the one usually not covering somebody. Everybody else in some retrospects is usually making that somebody is in their area that they have to cover.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what is X2? So as 3 dribbles to the middle there, X2 has to make a decision. Like the top, there's 2 elbow guys in a 2-3. So the top guys have to help on those screens. They have to make a decision at this point.
Right. So as this player goes, and I'm just going to get rid of this yellow now. As this player goes, this guy's got to make a choice, right? Because if he shows here, what do you have here? A kick for a 3, right? Is what you're saying, right? Or if this guy stays, well, he's getting a piece of the paint, right?
Right.
And then he's got hopefully a jump shot. Now, if this guy shows, what's this guy going to do? He's going to roll. The roller's right there. I mean, it's very simple action, because what happens is that, especially if you, and all good things happen, right, Steve, when teams can shoot the basketball, right?
Well, if you could shoot from the outside.
I'm just saying this action is much easier when you have guys. Thank you. I'm getting coffee right now from my wife. Okay. Look at this.
See, that's live. That's what we do.
Right, and I'll look at my awesome cup. I knew you would love this one. It says, "It always seems impossible till it's done." Nelson Mandela.
If it was later in the evening, I'd have a little Bailey's in my coffee, but it's not quite late enough right now.
Hey, it's Sunday. I'm not judging you. We're in a pandemic.
I have 2 bottles of Bailey somewhere in the house. So.
Wow, awesome. So you saw right there, right? That isolation piece that can create problems, and because we're not taught in a 2-3, if this guy goes and sets that screen, right, and this guy is not taught down to help and recover with him, right? He's going to stay. After he screens, he doesn't know what to do, because that's not part of his basic rotation, right? So what you're saying is that if you can, stretch out the zone and look to ball screen, you're going to get some really good action.
Well, and ball screen is just a small portion of this.
Absolutely.
But I think it's something it's things that people are doing now. They're ball screening. So I think that makes it more relevant, to be honest with you.
I would say the ball screen is one thing for sure. The other thing, when I think of a 2-3 zone, is really getting an opportunity to really, getting these guys, in this situation here, let's say that we put these guys back in their original spots.
Right. They're in their 2-3. Right. We're in their 1-3. We're in our 1-3-1 set.
Right.
Basically.
If you can get a guy in the 5 position here to screen the middle of the zone and seal the middle of the zone. You get a
Right.
lot of post isolation. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. I
And
think
you've
the
had guys
seal
that
is
I
a the
remember
seal
watching.
is a
I've had
good one.
players do. Yes, absolutely. I think the seal is you're always getting one-to-one opportunity if you have good court spacing and you're making other guys cover here because they can't come and help, or if they do come and help, well, then you have a skip for an easy jump shot.
Right. No,
So
I
I
agree.
think screening the middle of the zone or
I
pinning the
think
middle of the zone.
sealing it too. So like as they drive, you
Yes.
seal, and those kind of things
Yes.
really work well.
You
And I
make the middle of the zone. Make this guy's. I always used to tell kids, make this guy's life a living nightmare. You're right, because a lot of times he's got it. He's usually the guy that doesn't have to work as hard, right?
right,
Because
right,
he's just sitting there, man. He's a rim protector. But now you start screening him and you make him actively in the zone, and he's got to make decisions. That's where I think things start to open up. Which I don't know. You can totally chime in now. I'm
right.
sorry.
No, I agree. And finding space is important. Cutting to open space is important. But I also think so. Let's move 5 up. I think something that's a good set that. Yep, to the elbow. Move them to the elbow, and
Okay.
then and then move 4 to the low block, and then move 3 to the other side.
So hold on, let me do something quick though. Let's give the ball. Where do you want the ball? If you guys are
Give the
watching,
ball
the
the
ball
one.
would
Give the
be
ball a 1. Give the ball a 1.
the ball. If you guys have never used fast draw before the ball is always indicated by the circle. So
Right.
every other player on offense does not have a circle. Only the person with the ball, and defenders are obviously the X's with the number next to it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Steve. Sorry, I just
So
want. Some people might not know what that's all about. Not everybody uses fast draw yet.
yeah, so I like that. So 4 goes back. Put 4 back in the low block now,
Okay.
and move 3 to the where 4 is.
The 3 in the short corner.
No, 3 to where 4 is, and 4 to the low. So what I'm doing right now for people listening. So 4 go to the low block.
Okay, so we're talking offense right now?
Yes,
Sorry.
offense. Yes,
Okay.
offense.
All right.
My bad.
My bad. All right, so because
Yeah,
they both have the same number. So
Yep.
where are we moving the?
Yeah,
forward?
we have to change that in the future. So we're learning when we do this.
All right.
We should juice. Yeah. So move 4 down to the low block. Yep.
Okay, like on the block. All right.
Yeah, or maybe lower than that, and then 3 over where 4 was.
Okay, so all right.
So and again, we're just talking generalities. There's continuity offenses. There is motion
you
offense.
Just talked about really anything against a good zone that you want to beat a good zone is overloading the zone, right?
Right. Well, what we have right now is what we refer to as chair, where it basically looks like a chair. You have somebody at the low block, you have somebody at the elbow, you have somebody in the corner, you have somebody in the wing, and you have a guy opposite. We do a lot of movements with this because we're causing the defenders to have to choose how they're going to defend it. Like, who's going to defend 5? Like, 1's got the ball. So X2 is out on 1 on the wing. So who's defending 5? Is it the middle guy, bottom guy on the 2-3? Is it the opposite elbow guy? That's the question you have to ask: is who's defending 5 there in that high post?
Right.
And I don't think that's
Can I show you something? Because that's really funny that you have this action here. There's a continuity I used to run that's very similar that has this action the whole time.
Yeah, we have a continuity that runs that too. Yeah. Maybe you stole it from me.
Probably. Those probably. And I got it. I actually, when you were doing the Coach Market DVDs back in the day, I got it from the Kings of something coach.
Oh yeah.
What I did here.
God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, you've been around a long time, buddy.
I know.
All right. So in my zone continuity, I used to call it cutters. Okay. This guy was a baseline shooter, so he would always be strong side of the ball. Okay, and he would run 3-point line to 3-point line or stuck under so you'd have one guy as your baseline runner. Okay. That baseline runner can go to corner, get sucked in the short corner, find space, whatever. Free roam. Okay. The 5, he's going block to block looking for the post ups. But what happens is that you talked about that chair action is when the ball is being swung. So let's swing the ball to the 2 or to one of the wings. And maybe I stole it from you. And you could tell everybody that I stole it from you. Because I like this. I like to take my opposite wing across the court, and he flashes.
Yeah, I like that. Yep.
And then the 1 flare cuts out. Okay.
Yep.
Stretching the zone. He sits here for a second. He pops out. Okay. We reverse the basketball. Okay. And then we reverse it back to the other side. Let's say we go the other direction. Okay. well, this runner can move this way as the ball is reversing. This 5-man can find space wherever he's at. And then what's happening? This guy flares out. This guy's flashing. It really makes the zone work. But in the end, it's basically kind of what you were talking about, right? That chair action.
What did you call that?
I called it cutters.
Cutters.
Yep.
Okay. Can you can for the listeners, can you diagram that up tonight?
I will. I actually have it in my old fast draw, which I'll get fixed or PDF.
By Wednesday? By Wednesday, coach?
Well, I'm off Tuesday, so I will.
I might just have you draw this one up too. As we're again, high school hoops listeners, we're just talking right now, so you can.
Right, but again, I loved it, and I really think
I like that.
Even your middle school kids could run this. It's very easy.
I think
and
so.
And I love the cut that it provides, that L cut action to get the top of the post open. So he flashes, oh, I don't get it, and then I got to change multi-direction, and I've got to pop out. That guy's always getting open for ball reversal. Another thing, too, what happens if we can't reverse the basketball, or if this guy's wide open, right? Maybe this guy's shading a lot, and we can't reverse the ball. We skip it. We would skip the ball across. And as the ball is skipped, even on a skip pass, this guy would still flash. Because that guy on a skip would try to beat him to the space, and he's wide open. And then you get the ball.
That.
You know what I mean? So anytime the ball is moving from wing to wing, whether it's from a 2-pass reversal or a skip, we're still getting opposite wing flash.
Oh, I like that. Because what are they doing? They're flashing to open space.
Exactly.
I say it's like you're drowning and up is the air. You're just trying to find air, man. Find that open space. That's where life is, man. Find that open space, because that's where you're going to score. And I tell them selfishly, if you find open space and you cut to it, you're going to be open for a second, and that's how you score, because you're going to be open.
And the other thing that I liked about this is, and I guess hopefully you guys would have a 4-man at the Division I high school level, the high level, that can shoot a free throw line jump shot. Some of my best players were maybe a taller 3-man, and when he got into the high post and flashed, he can make that 15-footer all day. Right. All day. And again, what happens if this guy does get the ball in the high post and that 5-man comes here? What do you have every single time? You have that simple kick or dump down pass to the big dude.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to somebody else about that the other day. That dump down is like one, because what they're going to do is they come toward the ball and then it's like poof. When you get it. So I think finding open space, I think zones, especially if you're running a continuity, I love that continuity. There's lots of different ones out there. But I also like that that you got to teach your guys to not stand. You have to teach your guys or gals to cut through the zone. Zones don't like movement we've talked about this on another podcast, but they don't like the movement from side to side. They don't like the cutting either.
Right. And so that's getting them moving side to side in that cutting too. But again, you gotta see what's available. Like sometimes a zone might go this way, and shade over. Then you teach those guys, hey, if you see him dragging here and they're denying this pass, well, let's skip it. A
lot of zones a lot of 2-3s will start out as a 1-2, 1-1-3.
Yep.
And then the first guy will take the ball. So they're trying to basically slow that initial look down.
You're talking more like this, right?
Like that. So it's a 1-1-3.
And it's like
then as soon as one brings it up and passes to 2, then one of them will jump right to 2, and it kind of takes that initial look away. We'll counter that with a flash behind. We'll counter with a screen away. But I think both of those are really good looks. The thing is, you want spacing. I'm going to tell people that are listening, one of the keys to a good zone offense is offensive rebounding. I'm telling you, kids do not box out well in zones as well as they do in man-to-man, because people are coming from those long spaces, and it's like the fog of war. It's the miscommunication. Like, who am I supposed to box out? Like when I'm playing man, obviously you're playing help probably and doing those things, but I usually know who I'm guarding exactly. And those, I tell especially young coaches that, that offensive rebounding part, you send some guys to the glass hard, because for zones, it's hard to, And we've played teams. We've lost to teams in state tournament that have done zones really well, and they've rebounded really well, and it's frustrated us. But when they don't, you can score a lot of points. What else, Coach?
I don't know. I mean, we could talk about this all day. There's so many different ways.
There is so many. So this was what I'm going to say. So we're going to stop here just because this was kind of a test run for us to.
Overall, I had a lot of fun with it. I liked it a lot.
This was great. I think we're going to do more of this. We're just going to, some of high school hoops we're going to talk about, obviously, in the COVID world, and the topics are going to come up over the next three or 4 weeks, or 3 or 4 months, probably is a better way of describing it. We're going to do some of this. We're going to, we might make these bonus episodes too. Maybe we'll, this is a work in progress, but if you want to see this, Coach promises me he'll diagram up his, what did you call that? Cutters. He'll diagram cutters up. We'll put it down in the show notes. And then those of you that are listening on the podcast, I'll put this up on YouTube. I'll upload it. I'm super excited because I think I'm getting fiber put into our house. So that means my speeds are going to be much faster. I can upload and download things faster.
Wow.
Yeah. So they did our neighborhood. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
very cool.
I'm going to keep my charter. I'm going to have 2 Wi-Fi nodes for a couple of months until I figure out if it works. I'll just pay for it, I guess. But it's going to help with our speed, I think. Anyway, so let us know what you think. You can email me at steve@teachhoops.com, or, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll just, a couple of months ago, I'll do on our Facebook stuff, Steve, just some ideas. Hey, what do you guys want to see diagrammed?
That's a great idea on our Facebook group.
That one time we got we had 8 sessions because people were just asking about it. And I think that's key. All right, what kind of drills do you want to see diagrammed? I mean, we cannot read your mind,
Right. I love that idea. I love that. We'll put that in our Facebook group. I'll make sure I'll put our Facebook group in there too. So if you want to, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, you need to be. It is right. As soon as we get off here, I'll probably, I don't know. I gotta slow the queue down on questions, because otherwise it's right now, I think there's 25 in the queue. So it's I put 2 or 3 up, and then 80 comments on people are having problems with this and this, and it's a great community.
Yeah, but it's also, you're always learning from somebody else, man. Always.
Right. No, I know.
And people that love the game like we do, they love to talk about it. They love to share. They
do.
And feedback too. Just the overall feedback. We were just talking about. We should sometimes just talk about feedback. Feedback is so awesome. One thing I will say before maybe our question of the day is the importance of feedback from other coaches.
That's one of the reasons I started Teach Hoops, was I wanted to help coaches. That's how you and I initially connected. It was I just wanted, you were a young coach in Mayville. I was just trying to keep your head above water.
Yeah, I'm floating now. I'm doing great.
No, but I'm just saying that's the reason I started it. That's, I think, what makes it great, in my opinion.
I think the key to feedback is it gives you direction and purpose of where you want to go next. So I'll just give you an example from what I do right now as a soccer coach. I am an academy director. My buddy is the coaching director of the higher level. He came to one of my games. He gave me 6 or 7 different notes about things that we were doing well, things that we could work on. Literally, that's how I generated my practice plans for the last 6 weeks of the season. Just one dude or one person coming in. Sorry, dude. That's just the way I talk sometimes. One person coming in, because we're buddies. We were high school teammates, and we basically run the program together. One person coming in and giving me that feedback, and giving me that just gave me so much purpose and meaning of what I did throughout the rest of the season. So
right.
I think it's so key to get feedback from others. Have other people watch your film. It's awesome.
No, I think it's the way to go. So, great, Coach. Him and I are gonna brainstorm as soon as we get off here. But have a great week, everybody. It's hopefully yesterday was a good day. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Yeah, bye. Hey, Coach. Hope you enjoyed the video. Nothing better than sitting in the empty gym here. Let me know how I can help you. Make sure you subscribe and leave some comments down below. If you're looking to go to the next level from someone that's done this for 30 plus years, let me help you do that. Let me help you put some pictures on the wall. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.